Good morning, guys. Good morning, students. Welcome back to the English lesson. And we start from what we stopped.
When we grew up and went to school, there were certain teachers who would hurt the children any way they could.
That is not the music, but is Slow Food Presidia. So, today we speak about, again, and we do it, summarize what we did last time, Slow Food Presidia. So now you will have the chance to read again the text and listen the video and watch the video in order to do exercise 14. Watch the video about the birth of slow food and check that you understand the meaning of the following words and take note of what these numbers refer to. That is a focus point of this text, and you should review the listening and the text we did for somebody of you, and for whom has not the chance to do that, please do it. So now try to listen and to watch the video in order to understand what are the meaning of these words, commitment, awareness, forerunner, environment, names, sustainability, biodiversity, and endangered. So take care about what you are going to listen.
Slow food. In the 1970s, journalist-sociologist Carlo Petrini realized that the world was fast losing interest in the food it ate, where it came from, how it tasted, and how industrialized farming was affecting the planet. So he decided to start his commitment with a group called Libera e Benemerita Associazione Amici del Barolo, Free and Meritorious Association of Friends of Barolo, with the aim of promoting awareness of local products. This led, in 1986, to the association called Arcigola, the forerunner of slow food. Arcigola's first membership card was issued in 1987. 1986 was the year that saw the nuclear disaster of Chernobyl, which contaminated the environment and the food supplies for thousands of kilometers away. It was also the year when 19 people died in Piedmont from drinking wine laced with ethanol. And it was the year when a McDonald's opened by the Spanish Steps in Rome. As a consequence of all this, Carlo Petrini and many others assembled in Rome in protest, armed with nothing but a bowl of penne, traditional Italian pasta. The slow food and anti-fast food movement was born. Its official launch took place in Paris in 1989, with delegates from 15 countries. Its symbol became the snail. Carlo Petrini became, and still is, the president. Over time, the original eno-gastronomic message has developed into an eco-gastronomic alert. In fact, the movement does not only focus on preserving food traditions, but also on the promotion of environmental sustainability, biodiversity, small producers, and endangered foods. The movement has expanded, including over 100,000 members in over 150 countries, and organizes fairs, events, and world meetings in every country. Furthermore, since 2004, Slow Food has opened a University of Gastronomic Sciences in Piedmont, a global network known as Terra Madre, whose goal is to promote awareness of good food and nutrition all over the world, and launched projects like Arc of Taste to protect local and traditional food products of the entire planet that are in danger of extinction.
Okay, so you can listen again as you want, as many times you want, you need, but I suggest you to listen and to hear about that only 3 times. And please do exercise number A, so check that you understand that the meaning of the following words and take note of what these numbers refer to. So please do this kind of exercise and review the text we did in the classroom. Because everybody of you has this kind of paper and this test. Now we go ahead to study some more to-dos, anything else. For example, we do this page. So about exercise, about reading exercise 15. So you have to read the text again and then fill in with the required information. So now we speak about Presidia, and you know what is a Presidia because we did in the classroom. And if you don't remember, please have a look on that, and we will do exercise on this aspect, on this issue. At the moment, please write it down. Slow food time of organization. So what is that? Slow food type of organization, and try to finish the phrase. Slow food aims to. So what are the aims of slow food, and what kind of organization is slow food? What kind of activities do slow food? And the Italian Presidia project launch year, in which year is launched, and Presidia project achievements, so what they obtained with this movement, and Presidia brand aim. So please specify, everything is related to this. And about vocabulary, match the highlighted words in the text with the corresponding Italian translation. So you will, if you go back to the text, you see that you have some highlighted words, and you have to match the highlighted words to the text with the corresponding Italian translation. So for example, what it stands for: marchio, scomparsa, and go ahead. Now you are going to listen a text, a track, and you will hear part of an interview with an Italian food expert who lives abroad. So he doesn't live in Italy, but he lives abroad, so you can understand what it means. And for each question, choose the correct answer. So now I start to let you listen the audio and try to find it out, and try to answer to each of these questions.
Track 41, page 168. FCE practice. Listening. Part 4. 17. You will hear part of an interview with an Italian food expert who lives abroad. For each question, choose the correct answer.
Good evening, Mr. Pinto. As an Italian living between the USA and the UK, do you think that Italian food is well represented abroad?
I think that one of the most common misconceptions about Italian food abroad is the use of certain ingredients, though genuinely Italian, in different roles than the original use.
Can you give us an example?
One of the most classic examples is pasta, which is served as a side dish in many Italian-style restaurants abroad.
Why do you think such errors are possible?
This and several other misconceptions, in fact, derive from the unique structure of Italian dining. In many culinary traditions around the world, the meal is based on a main course, or dish, which is preceded or followed by dishes of secondary importance. The Italian gastronomy, however, contemplates two main course dishes. The first course dish, primo, and the second course dish, secondo. The first course dish is usually a pasta or rice dish dressed with proper sauces, while the second dish is usually a simple meat or fish recipe.
You mean that, in a certain way, the Italian meal structure is unique in the world?
Yes, and there might be historical and social reasons for this. In Italy, pasta has earned through time an increasingly important position within the structure of the meal, because of the difficulty for different social strata to access expensive ingredients to prepare a meat or fish course dish. In some cases, pasta replaced the main dish. In others, it joined plates two main course dishes. The first course dish, primo, and the second course dish, secondo. The first course dish is usually a pasta or rice dish dressed with proper sauces, while the second dish is usually a simple meat or fish recipe.
You mean that, in a certain way, the Italian meal structure is unique in the world?
Yes, and there might be historical and social reasons for this. In Italy, pasta has earned through time an increasingly important position within the structure of the meal, because of the difficulty for different social strata to access expensive ingredients to prepare a meat or fish course dish. In some cases, pasta replaced the main dish. In others, it joined the main dish, becoming equally important. This does not mean, of course, that Italians necessarily dine every day with at least two course meals. Lunch in midweek is quite commonly just the first course, or only the second. But the important issue is that the weight of the two courses is practically equivalent in the structure of the meal.
So, what is the classical Italian meal structure?
A classic Italian meal would be composed of 1. The starter, a light and tasty dish which introduces the meal. 2. The first dish, usually a plate of pasta or rice, accompanied by a sauce or soup. 3. The second dish, meat or fish-based recipe. 4. The side dish, usually a salad or cooked vegetables, served with the second dish. 5. Pudding or dessert, usually a piece of cake, a semifreddo, or a cup of gelato, which ends the meal before you go to coffee.
And you said that people who are not familiar with this kind of structure often mix up the courses.
Yeah, when Italian recipes are reinterpreted according to other traditions and adapted to foreign meal structures, it's easy to create some misunderstandings and culinary errors, like transforming a first course dish into a starter, or even into a side dish for the main course.
Well, thank you for your answers, and good luck for your job.
You're welcome.
So, you heard about that track. So now, the first step you have to do is to read all the questions and all the numbers of phrases and try to find out a solution and try to find out the right reply for each one. So enjoy your work and do it very, very quickly for Monday, maximum on Tuesday. And now we go ahead to give you some more points to do. Food cultural diversity. Over the past few decades, we have had the opportunity to witness a rise in food-focused media and culture. Food explosion surrounds us, from TV shows to healthy diet magazines and food festivals. Moreover, since our contemporary society is multicultural, people now come into contact with different cuisines and are increasingly combining foreign flavors with recipes traditionally linked to their own culture. Cultural diversity, what does it mean? Has become an important issue. Yes, ethnic restaurants are popular everywhere today, and many ethnic dishes are joining the local food